I was actually surprised at how much the US dollar benefited from payrolls on Friday. Now, it was good, but it didn't shoot the lights out for me.
So-so,
yeah,
right?
wage growth, unimpressive.
Yeah.
But we did have the upgrade of the month before as well, right?
That is true, yeah, and all that together in a package explains a portion of the US dollar strength, I suspect. But I don't think the dollar can hold on to these gains indefinitely. We do see another period of US dollar weakness ahead over the next few months as those monthly inflation prints start to roll in. They're not going to be very impressive. It will point to ongoing sort of subdued inflationary pressures in the US. And that should take some of the strength out of the US dollar. Now, it won't be a permanent setback for the dollar. We still think the process of balance sheet normalization, once it gets underway, and crucially, once it accelerates earlier next year and into next year, that could become a very strong force for US dollar strength. But we're not there yet. We have to be a bit more patient.
So sketch the roadmap. Draw that roadmap out for us. You and everybody else probably agreed, December, we got one more hike left, right? Next year, when does it start picking up and at what pace?
Yeah, now that's a tricky question. We're not even certain that we're going to get one more hike this year. They may choose to defer it until next year. The Fed themselves don't really know what they're going to do. They tell the world that 3 hikes are penciled in for next year, but I'd be utterly shocked if they think they can give us 3 hikes next year, because the process of balance sheet normalization itself will deliver a significant amount of tightening.
And how long is that going to take?
Well, it will take them about 5 quarters to ramp up the process until it hits full throttle and maximum speed. And at that point, the balance sheet will be coming down at a pace of about 50 billion US dollars per month. So that's a sizable decline in excess liquidity.
So you think the tightening is going to come through the balance sheet, not necessarily through interest rate hikes as well?
That's certainly how the market is interpreting it right now. So the market currently sees the trade-off as follows, that if we get balance sheet normalization in September, it will allow the Fed to drag their feet regarding subsequent interest rate hikes. And that's why the dollar hasn't benefited from this debate so far. But once the pace of that normalization accelerates, and they've laid out a very clear framework for how they intend to do this, at that point, the dollar could start to get some traction.